guys, Master Bev, finally. Yo, ngamfuna for a longest time because he's always busy, but I honor this. I honor this for you to be here.
No, it's a pleasure.
So welcome. Ngizodinga ukuthi uzazise kancane ebantwini ukuthi wena ubani usuka kuphi.
Okay. First things first, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I know it's been long coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, popular nickname, Master Bev, Kamala Sekaya or Ayanda Mgomezulu. I'm a bartender, I'm a culture curator, I am an event organizer. I'm just a creative actually. Yeah, I just have a passion for creating spaces where people can have fun and just enjoy themselves. Yeah.
So, because I've known you before you became Master Bev.
Yeah.
And then I look to Master Bev. I didn't know who was Master Bev. And I was following this Master Bev until I think you were Westside FM.
Yeah.
And you went live.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, hello, Master Bev.
Yeah, but I personally did that intention. Like I have a passion for branding also.
Yes.
So when I did that Master Bev thing, I branched it out of who my personal life is.
Yes.
So I did a separate account for Master Bev so that I can have an account that I can use when I don't want to be Master Bev. Oh. Yeah, I did that intentionally. So a lot of people, they know Master Bev.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As much as I didn't know who was Master Bev.
Yeah, and then abantu abangazi personally, they just know Ayan.
Yes.
Yeah, I did that intentionally because the other account has mostly my private, like people I went to school with, primary with, high school with, and then Master Bev just has mostly people like we interact on a business scale.
Yes.
Yeah, on a scale that I'm a creator on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know Guti ufunde multiracial school.
I wouldn't really call it a multiracial. Okay, I'll give that to
you.
Yes.
Tell me now, how was it for you, Uguti uhlale ekasi?
Yeah.
And you had other friends, ekasi, and then ufunda elsewhere. How did you balance that? Uguti, okay, switch manje sesikolweni, and then you unalabantu certain people who are living a certain lifestyle from eyase location.
I'd say primary days were like benganagi. I'd really say primary days benganagi because even the school I went to primary had a lot of black kids and colored kids. So benganagi, I don't want to lie, benganagi. Like I think it happened automatically. It was an adaptation thing because I'm good at adapting actually. But I think it was very easy to balance because I was playing sports on both occasions. I was playing sports at school, playing sports at class. So amongst the school in Glali and not amongst the class in Glali. But the school in was just a bit more diverse in sports because there was a time I was playing high jump, there was a time I was playing cricket, there was a time I was playing volleyball.
Okay.
So it opened me up to like diversifying.
Okay.
But yeah, class Maslang and is Glali, so it's kind of the same dynamics, in as much as not the same people, but the dynamics are more or less the same. And then when you reach high school, that's when you start being intentional with the fact that, these people are not the same. Banbase behave like this.
Yes.
Banbase Skolu behave like this. Okay. And then now I need to learn of how to Mangsekasi to behave like this. And then Mangse Skolu behave like this. Even when you're in varsity, you get to learn with Mangsekasi, this is how I behave.
Yeah.
And then that's how you get people that say, Master Bev that's because you are two different people and I relate differently to the both of you. So yeah, I think it happened gradually to a point where I was just like used to it. Because most of us know transport like ngihamba ngetransport ke-esikoleni ngoba
bakhere ukuthi uphathiska bakwarele ukuthi ukhere
isikhafu like kukude vele so akunandlela engisofika ngayo. But yeah, you get used to it.
There's something that you said earlier that was like it really touched my heart. You said you grew up from a home in Otando, you believe in love. Tell me about it, the family structure and all that.
So the family structure is we are a family of four. My mom, it was a family of four actually. Okay. It was my mom, my dad, my bigger brother, and Dimina, your last born. So yeah, my parents have been married for over 40 years, over 30 years, 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And I've never seen my dad lay a hand on my mom.
Oh.
Ever. Unless it's to show love, give her hugs, or when it's just banter between them two.
Yes.
But I've never seen my dad lift his hand in a hateful manner, physical manner towards my mom. And I feel like that's what my dad shaped a whole lot of the man I am today, and I'm very privileged for that. I don't want to lie. I'm grateful for that, for everything. Because the family structure was my dad used to work go logistics, big truck drive.
Okay.
So in most cases he wasn't home.
Yeah, he was.
But when he was home, he'd make it felt good. I'm here. Yeah.
And then it would be sad when he leaves again.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, but yeah. So that was the dynamics at the home. My parents taught me and my brother what sharing is. Because he too, my dad would never buy a football for me and buy one for my brother. So
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, even when I was business PlayStation, in as much as there's a 3 gap difference between me and my brother.
Okay.
So he has his friends, I have my friends.
Yeah.
So growing up, if the PlayStation A1, there needs to be a balance in towards. I think my parents were very intentionally teaching us what sharing is. Wow. So yeah, I feel like.
And then I heard you said was.
Yeah, my dad passed away 2021.
That's so recent.
It is. I've only healed. I was telling my friend the last week, he has imagined. I am feeling like I'm the best person I've been for the past 2 years. I'm only now that I've had to deal with what I was feeling because I am ekaya. We had to be strong. My dad made sure my mom was a soft cookie. My mom, everything was done for her. So when my dad passed away, I feel like I can't speak for my brother, but I feel like personally,
you felt sorry for your mom.
I took it really hard, for the fact that it's my dad. He passed away, but it felt very hard that my mom lost the person she's been living with for the past day, like impilo yake young tall. So it was very hard, and I couldn't show her because I had to be strong for my mom. Because also she's trying to be strong in her own ways so that for us, but she can't help it. So I felt like we had, because after my dad passed away, I think I left my job. I was working as an analyst somewhere. I left my job. I was like, I want to take care of my mom because baba moshonele kai. So he died in our arms. Yeah. Because my dad, the day he passed away, he called me to the side. I think I was home. I was supposed to be hosting an event that day, but I woke up, my dad was extra sick, so I couldn't do anything. Plus it was raining on that day. And my dad called me one day because my mom had to go. I solve into some society. My brother was not home.
Yes.
So he called me a Cameroon, like Ayanda. And then he was telling me how it's difficult for him to breathe on that day.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't see himself living towards after that. There's like I'm an babu manunga whatnot. And with that he said a couple of things. Please make sure my wife never like struggles for anything. Please take care of her. If you can take care of that person, like that's the only thing I'm asking. And then he asked for other things that I can't speak about. So I took that. I feel like I took that personally because me and my dad were close. So I knew what my mom meant to my dad. In that sense, I knew what my mom meant to my dad. So I took that a bit more personal because I was like, I'm not going to work. And also, I feel like my dad's passing, like it turned away of how I viewed life because I started viewing life as like, what are we living for if we're gonna die and leave everything behind?
Exactly.
My dad worked so hard. Like in his homestead, it's like you went from that to where you are now. You built this huge house, you've bought all these things, and now you are dead. You left your kids, you left. It's like what is this life? So I went through a period of that in my mind. And I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of it. And I feel like I gave up on a lot of things that I was doing personally also. It's not going to last for one day. I'm going to leave everything behind. So
you were discouraged.
Yeah.
But you didn't look at the side. You so hard. You didn't look at that way.
Exactly. Because my dad worked. Minekas being busy cheese boy.
Yeah.
And I knew his struggles as a guy. We are not what you guys think. But that was a form of my parents worked so hard for us to achieve this entitlement people are giving us.
Yes.
Like I was like my dad worked extra hard. My parents worked extra hard for us. I'm very blessed to grow up in a space like that.
So did you go for counseling?
I've only went for counseling late last year. It was more therapy than it was counseling. I'm not sure of what the difference is.
Yeah. You're on just to check your mental.
Just to check.
Did you find a place you're bored?
I did. Nakona, I think it was luck because I was applying for a scholarship somewhere, and they took us through that period just to, because what they do with that brand, it's a brand. So what they do with that brand, before they take you in, they want to understand what your skills are, what your strong point is, what are your weaknesses, what are you good at? Are you good at speaking? Like they want to do all of those things. So when I was speaking to that person, she was like, I feel like there's certain elements of yourself that you are not exploring, and I'm not sure why.
Okay.
I was like, what do you mean? She said, there's a lot of things that when I'm speaking to you about, I can tell Uguti, like there's a lot more you can go at, but you're limiting yourself somehow. Would you like to explore why? And I was like, yeah. So they put me through therapy, but also the therapy wasn't a physical one-on-one.
Okay.
So they do what they call as
the virtual.
Yeah, the virtual therapy. You could call it that way. They give you tasks. They speak to you maybe like once, twice a month.
Yes.
And they give you tasks you need to complete those. So that on its own. And it took me to finding out, Duguti, 2021 was such a good year for me. Like business-wise, eventing-wise, like it was such a good year for me. And then within a space of 2 weeks, so much happened that it shaded everything that I've done that was good for that year. Because my dad passed away on the 5th of December.
True.
My dad passed away on the 5th of December. And on that day, I was supposed to launch a new concept I was working on.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is the concept I'm working on now.
Yes.
So, yeah. I was supposed to launch it on that day. And my dad passed away on that day. So, 2 weeks, we buried him on the 10th. And then on the 26th of December, I had an event also. So I couldn't really deal with my dad's passing and mourn him and all that. Because after my dad passed away, I had to switch back onto business mode that I need to do my events. Because I remember my Obabum Kuluam once set me down on maybe you should postpone this event.
Yes.
And I thought about it until sometime I look at my ticketing sales. Yeah. I saw that there's people from all the way from Cape Town, imagine, that bought these tickets. And me being so hard on myself, I was like, I'm not gonna let down these people that come all the way from Cape Town to come witness what I'm doing here.
Just deal with yourself
and then
later.
I'll deal with myself. It's fine. These people don't even know me on a personal. They don't even know what happened. So my an event was postponed. That's me damaging my brand that I've worked so hard on. It's fine. I'll work on myself after the event. Let me push the event. And then for that 2 weeks, I pushed the event. And then when the event happened, the incident of people getting hurt and my event happened on that day. So in a space of...
Because I was zilanga.
Yes. So when that happened, I started now not focusing on the fact that I started focusing on the fact that these people, like I started blaming myself, this is my fault. So now I need to deal with this. I'm not even now focusing again on the fact that I am going through whatever I'm going through. So I put that aside.
So
now I'm going through this. And then I solved all of that. Like I went through all of it and I was like, Chuchi, this is it. This is done. I've lost my dad. I've lost my brand. I've lost everything I've worked hard for in the space of 2 weeks.
So what's the use?
It's fine. I'm like, it's fine. I'll move on. It's fine. And then to a point where, because I was done with cocktails, and when that happened, I was like, I'm never hosting an event ever again. It's fine. And then February, I was speaking to a mentor of mine that began from this school with.
Yes.
And what she said to me was, okay, it's fine that I hear you say you want to quit. It's understandable. But do you understand now, which if you quit now, this is what people are going to remember your event for.
Exactly.
This is the last memory they have of your event. They can speak all the good things you've done, but it'll end up, that happened and it was finished. So work on this. So I started now focusing now again on rebuilding the brand, and bettering the event, making sure it's safe and all those things. And then I still didn't go back to the fact that Gonjing Shonel. And I've lost, because my dad was such a focal point of my life, that I've lost an actual focal point of a person I was looking at. So now I'm working on the back end of I'm hurt, and I'm just working to save what I've been working on for so long. I need to do right because the people that thing happened to, people that were close to me. Yeah. Like out of all the 1,000 people that were there, it happened to the people that were actually close to me, that I was living with on a daily basis. That was the most difficult thing. Because even in Nkulumo Zabantu, there's all of those things. Because Abantu were saying, I didn't care on that day. All I was caring about is money. And
but you know, such things, they will always, those ones, I hope you don't pay attention to them, because you cannot please everybody, you cannot give it 100 to everyone. Others, they'll see it as super dope. Others will like it was the lamest thing ever. So you cannot.
But when you're living in real time, those things affect you, because you've got to remember, I made a point where everything is negative. Yeah. So everything I'm now focusing on is all the negative things that are happening. So when I was getting all those backlashes and whatnot, I was like, this is not what I want.
2022, we're going to host the ekasi.
Yeah.
Why was a sudden change? Because of Tina, we knew Uti Klalisekas, and then that year it moved to a place that awaziwa kangako.
Yeah. When I moved it to ekasi, so it was, I'm one person that I'm very strategical with everything I do.
Okay.
I felt like if I do it ekasi again, in as much as yes, there's this stigma ekasi, but I wanted to move the event away from all the stigma that was happening.
Introduce it to a new environment.
That also, and to save it, how? Because I personally felt like ekasi would be a much safer option than holding it at Swaneville. Because of Inkulu, there was talks between Swaneville and 23, which abantu 23 feel like abantu Swaneville babulale umuntu wabo, so they need to retaliate. So I felt like I couldn't take this lightly.
Yeah.
Because anything happens, it's gonna fall on me.
Yes.
So I can't take these things lightly. Let me take this thing and move it to a mutual ground where it can rebuild itself. So that's why I moved it outside ekasi, because also there was limitations for me ekasi because the venue I was using, I felt like that whole thing happened because there was not an element to breathe. It overpacked. I feel like it overpacked. So there was no movement space and whatnot. So I needed a bigger venue. So the next big venue, ekasi Stadium. And I wasn't ready for a stadium because the gap in between corner base and the stadium is huge. Because you don't want to use the stadium and it just looks empty.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you see. So I needed a place that's going to be a middle ground in between, breaking point into these two things. Yeah. So that's why I moved it to ekasi. So it was for safety reasons and the red tape just across our venue ekasi.
And then this guy was a 23, I think unokusebenza naye.
Ubani?
Now he does this mixing.
Police.
Yeah. Nisebenza nonke nomxolisi or
I use him to help me at the event, but I don't know what his background of bartending history is.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him. I also just met him along I think he approached me, if I'm not mistaken, that he would like to help at the bar because he would like to learn more.
Yes.
Yeah, he would like, because that was the chat. He said he would like to learn more about me because I'm doing it at a higher level than he is. Because I was working in Abotenkari, Skyvok.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yeah, so he was like, I would really like to learn from what you're doing. Yes. And if you can plug me, like you'll plug me. I was like, okay, I can't plug you if I've never seen you work because I don't want to take you and put you in spaces. And, you know? So that's how we started working together. Yeah.
Okay. Being curious about that. And then now, are you gonna host us anytime soon? Maybe chances.
I am working on it. I don't want to lie. The reason I didn't host this year was because honestly I was still going through what I was telling you earlier about. I was still going through the phase of working on myself because for the past 2 years I felt like I haven't been myself. I really haven't been myself.
But you know what I like in this whole thing that we're talking about, it's a self-check. I think you are intact in it.
Yeah.
And I love that because other people, they don't realize when they going through things, they would always have this believe it would be right. I love the fact that you can tell a difference. We could see the 2 years and now there is a huge difference.
But I feel like I'm so intentional with that because I don't like having coping mechanisms. When I'm going through something, hence I was telling you earlier, which I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
When I'm working on something, when I'm feeling like, no, I actually need, like I stop drinking, I stop all these toxins that we put in our bodies so that I can really focus on me and know what I want, what I'm doing wrong and what I'm not. Because when I have a coping mechanism, it tends to be how you think. Yeah, I can't really now work from towards what I can output.
I love that. And then how has it been dealing in Swaneville and your business? Do you feel or do you see you've created a good relationship with other people and then you feel that you've dented a relationship with other people?
Yeah, it's always a catch-22. There's always a bit of both. But I feel like my relationship with Abantu Ekasi is, I feel like it's a love-hate sort of relationship. Yeah. Especially after the event moved from Swaneville towards ekasi. I felt like people started saying he may just not be for us actually. He might just be chasing the growth and he doesn't really care about us. Yeah. Because I like I'm on the ground a lot, especially among ekasi, in as much as I have access to a car.
Yes.
But I like walking and running and all this so that I can interact with people and get to know what people think. So I started hearing zonke lenkulumo even from my friends. I was like, people will understand.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm also a person of a business is the relationship between you and between the product and the customer. Is that exactly? They don't need to know what the logistics are. They just want to know when the event is about to Exactly.
Yes,
So
uspende
I've never
imali.
really been a person that exposes a lot of what I go through hosting the event.
Yes.
All I'm gonna expose to is this is the event. Let's come here, let's meet on this day. Like everything else I'm going through, I'll solve it one or with my friends. It's fine.
Yes.
But you guys just deserve this, and this is gonna be the beautiful thing that you guys get. So yeah. And how the event came about actually. Joba ushukuthi I minankhule like I bengfunda outside.
Yes.
So there was a struggle always of saying uhlala va angihlala eSwaneville. Iguphi manje eSwaneville?
Yeah, phela second.
Yeah.
So
Now
tell me the last time he was here. We should understand that Swaneville is an island.
Yeah. It's like Swaneville maninging, and then you are bound to saying ngase Kagiso. Oh, Kagiso nyazo. Okay, why labantu bazi Kagiso Swaneville bangayazi? And then I started realizing Kagiso there's things that are happening. So people are frequently going to in and out of Kagiso. Okay, so if I'm going to influence this ukuthi umuntu makangeke Swaneville as guti ngiphume eSwaneville and people know it, there needs to be things happening in Swaneville. So that's why I introduced the Cocktail Sunday so that we have something esizoti.
Yes.
No man, Cocktail Sunday is actually such a beautiful thing. Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted from it. That's exactly what I wanted from it. It was because to a point where Swaneville, everything I was doing, we Cocktail Sunday, all the suppliers were from Swaneville.
Really?
Yeah. Unless if there's something in Swaneville, then I can outsource.
I love
this. It was just built so that it can be an economy boost, so that it can boost ekasi.
And then now, didn't you have a challenge of siyazi kunendawo ekuphuzela kuzo eSwaneville azange feeling ngathi mhlambe they feel that you are against bathathela i-weekend ngalesikhathi leso, maybe you denting their pockets?
Yeah, we've had this chat bengwenye workshop sort of buza the same thing.
Is it?
What's the relationship between events and establishments? Because my chat is I host events maybe like 4 times a year.
Yeah,
you have an establishment that works every weekend, every weekend of the year. So you can't now want to fight me for hosting one event like in a month of 4 or in a space of 4 months. But I think they do have it, because when you have the talks with them, I'd like us to have like you can tell they're actually not for that
because of
idea.
Because weekend yakho,
But it is a huge competition. But I've never really had the conversations with them, especially Abasekas. I've never really had the conversation with them. But they've always been supportive. Even as Kat Becon face to face, they've always used to be supportive, because face to face, when I had the relationship with the owner, the owner of face to face, okay. So there was Upule. Yeah, they're the recent one. Upule begin hambisa school. So the relationship was like it was easy to mend and go across.
Plus, Upule is that one kind of a person who believes that as pushaneni.
He's super supportive.
He's supportive. Akana ilento ukuthi ufuna ukudla yedwa. Makabona ukuthi omunye umuntu there's still a space for another person. He does that. And then manje enye into bengisithi ngifuna ukubuza yona. Have you ever thought maybe sitting with Uspogas because of you have a good influence, ekasi, a good one. You one of the faces, ekasi, that we know that they bring things to life. Have you ever thought of going Uspogas? Why ngambuza ngalento Uspogas? Njengoba neshiro, and then when ungene naye nenzi hero.
How would that work? How?
It's about men's conference as much as she's dealing with women.
Okay. No, I've never thought about that's an idea actually.
Because already when you know how these things works, think about it. Go to her. Because since women, they get excited, they dress up, they do their nails quarterly, go to that event. Abantu abazayo to motivate, and I'm a spokesperson and shift it to hero. Then we have a shiro and a hero.
Yeah, because also there was men's mental health month, and nothing really actually happened about it.
So if maybe Shiro this month, the next month nenze ni hero kanjalo but ni balance.
Okay, I'll think about it. It's a beautiful concept actually, because I feel like a lot of things are not happening for men.
But and I don't know why I didn't ask her this. Anyway, I'm asking it because it figure manje again.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But I feel good because of Nina Senina influence already.
Yeah, I'll
because other people they just dress up, go to Vasco. I'm sorry to mention that, but they should look forward to dress up for other things,
Yeah, especially because they do that. Especially because like my events are known for that also. Which people need to dress up. People
Yes.
need to, it makes sense. I'll think about it. I'll really consider it.
Thank you. And then now I wanna go to business, like mine just khuluma ngama projects wakho. I did get the invitation, and thank you so much. I wanna personally thank you for it, and I want you to go a bit. Well, kancane ngayo ukuthi I don't want deeper. I don't want you to keep a young information that you know that you're not ready for. But please, can you tell me a bit about it?
The new concept.
Yes.
So the new concept is vibeintheville.
Yes,
Vibeintheville is going to be a hip hop platform. So which is a passion I've always had. I've always had the love for hip hop, right?
Okay, me too.
And I feel like hip hop is not I really feel like hip hop is not catered for.
Yes.
Especially in the Western where we live, I feel like hip hop is not really catered for. So this is going to be a platform for hip hop, especially in the Western and outside Western. Like, I'm not looking to box it in.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to have things like podcasts, playlists where we're gonna just push music. Let's see who's listening to what, so that we can just exchange music and whatnot.
Yes.
So it's gonna have playlists, it's gonna have DJ live mixes, it's gonna have live sessions where we all meet together.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna have the sporting code of it. We're gonna have skate, we're gonna have basketball, we're gonna have all those sports that are just known for hip hop, that are known to be like in an exchange of hip hop. And then we're gonna have the merchandise of it, the fashion side of it, where we sell merchandise, where we can collaborate with other artists that they can make garments that we can sell and make money for both of us, just to make like it's a social ecosystem for hip hop. Actually, it's gonna have everything in between.
I can't wait. I mean, like you're speaking my language. I love hip hop. For me, lyric for me, it's everything.
Lyric, because
lyric makes sense to me. That is why I
just
can't
the poetry of it, whether it's on beat or off beat, just the poetry of it.
That's my problem. That is why I can't keep up na mapiano, unfortunately. And the last time in Kulumanos podcast, she even said, but there are good songs that you can literally sit and relate. For me, it's too loud. It sounds the same and all that. But with I've healed through hip hop most of times.
It speaks to you.
I've healed in a sense that it has taught me all the aspects of emotion. It has taught me sometimes not to give a fuck. Sometimes it would keep me going, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
It is. Hip hop is such a beautiful genre.
Well, you're bringing that underground type of thing that we had in Newtown. You're bringing it.
Yeah, I guess.
I wish you all the best with that.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best, and
I
don't want you as well to give more information, and then totally someone might steal your idea while you still.
Yeah, they can steal it. They might not execute it the way I'm planning. Stealing it is one thing. Executing it would be hard.
Confidence.
I have a plan with it already.
Yeah.
So they can steal it, but also it's not like we use a lot of things as stealing. I feel like it's reference checks. It's a point of reference.
And as you said earlier,
because there's nothing really new under the sun.
And as you said earlier, that in Temnandi you can always bring something to inspire other people to do it.
Exactly.
So I like.
I've always wanted that kind of impact, and I'm so blessed to have that impact. Because I was speaking to someone, a group, and they were telling me how they wanted to use me as a part of a project they were doing for school, as to how this one person from ekasi can impact the whole hood without even speaking directly to them, just by doing whatever they're doing. And that person once said to me, I know you are hosting events and it's the biggest events that we've seen ekasi, and might be the biggest events in Western, but he's going to have, or it was a she was going to have the biggest event, bigger than mine. And I took so much
you didn't
compliment. I didn't take
on
offense. I took so much compliment for the fact that that's
exactly
why
she already have an idea. So she want to top up. You gave her.
I gave you a blueprint that this is because if we all now meet this certain standard, then we can all host these events. This is going to go back to the fact that this is what I wanted. I wanted us to have this ekasi, to have people frequently coming in and out of ekasi, and I'm seeing that a lot, because a lot of people that are hosting events are not from ekasi. So that's such a beautiful thing for me, because it's gotten to a point where it's shown that Swaneville has the potential. I've shown it to the people that are not even from Swaneville. We have the potential. Come host ekasi, it's fine.
And then when you got that text coming from me asking to have a sit with you, what was the first thing in your head, in your mind?
I panic when people give me this, because I grew up a very shy kid. I wasn't really very outspoken. I met somebody last that I went to high school with,
Yeah.
and she was like, I have never thought this would be you.
Yeah.
I could never imagine that this could be you hosting so many people and
Yes.
you going around speaking with so many. I used to be such a quiet kid. So when you said, like, I was pleased, I loved it because I love sharing knowledge also,
Yes,
in as much as I don't speak.
Yeah.
But I love sharing knowledge also. So I was privileged. I was like, okay, I want to be a part of
And
this.
sorry for texting. Yeah.
But I get it. The creativity of being a creative, it happens like that. Yeah, that's when you get the most ideas.
And I appreciate that you honored the invite.
Nah, it's a pleasure.
And what's your take? I always ask, what's your take that I chose this kind of platform, and I always advocate for ikaslami but ankosekasi. Because it sounds crazy, right? I'm where I am, but for me it's for ikaslam. Okay. What's your take in it?
Okay.
Do you think I'm
a question before you do you feel like you have relatability towards ekasi?
Too much. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I miss ekasi so much.
Okay.
Right? Under circumstances, I feeling I say ipaziliam.
Yeah, it's a jigsaw kind of puzzle.
You keep on when I sit with you here, I still feel uti.
Okay.
You know, and just for me, it's this thing, Uguti. I see you guys. I see what you're doing. I see your effort. I appreciate you, and this is the only way for me to say it.
Yeah. So my answer to your question is, I actually love it. This is we as creators, like us, the people that work hard, ekasi, we always need that pat on the shoulder. You're doing well.
Yeah.
So I feel like this kind of platforms, they actually help us to actually push more. And not only that, but it exposes a lot of the people that are doing good, ekasi. So that even the kids that have access to internet and access to this platform, they can see good. Oh, actually, there are people that are doing these kind of things, ekasi. So I actually love the platform. I love that you chose this. As long as you can give back to ekasi. Me, I don't really. Like, I'm not really fussy with how people do it. Like, you can leave ekasi and then influence ekasi from the outside. But as long as you're influencing ekasi in a beautiful manner,
but I have a challenge, gay.
Okay.
I get ama DMs. I don't like calling people random or ordinary or whatsoever.
Yeah, but if people are random, people are random.
So I get those people like, I want to like, yo, but do you understand the whole point of these people who are coming? And now be like, no, don't worry, I'm gonna call you, but who are you? Yeah. As much as I say, should one wants to promote something, I'm open to that. Should you want to share any story of yours, you but feeling it
needs a point of relatability also. And
how
you need context towards how we are going to sit down and speak. Like, there needs to be context.
But now advise, what do you think I should do? How do I have to deal with this whole thing?
I don't know how you can go around that one,
because it's the same thing for my people. Do
you know what people need to understand? Do you know what people need to understand? Because I get the DMs from, I'm going to say, DJs and artists that add live to perform at your event, right? And I'm like, I can't open the space up to everyone.
Yeah, of course.
Right? I can't open the space up, in as much as I know I need to give back and I need to give you guys opportunities.
Yes.
But I need to make sure there's quality control to the people that actually get to be on the event. Because at the end of the day, everything will come back to me. If you come to the event and you mess up your performance, or your performance is not of high quality, people are going to say, cocktail Sunday.
Yeah,
they're not gonna bash you. So I need to make sure we need to make sure there's quality control. So in as much as people might see this as a platform they want to come and speak, maybe they really have something to share, but they must understand there must be quality control and quality checks everywhere. So I feel like I don't know how you can conversate that to them.
I'm just irraisiliasha.
Perks of working at home.
Perks of working from home, yes. Yes.
So yeah, I feel like people need to understand that also. Like, they can come back at you, but they must expect not everything will be a yes. There's doors you're gonna knock at and doors are gonna close.
Yeah.
There's doors that are definitely gonna close. Because for me, when I started the Cocktail Sunday, I used to get so much of that concept won't work, guys. A lot. Like,
so
people would tell me,
know when to say no.
Yeah, because people would tell me, that concept will not. Cocktails are not sellable, like us. You can't sell cocktails to our basicas. And I was like, I would love, because me, when you say I can't do something, that's when
you want to.
Yeah, that's when I get that burning desire. I would
it's
actually want to
possible.
see good vela yenzeki kamampela this thing.
Have you ever thought would one day you will open a school where you're gonna teach
bartending?
Yes.
I am. Do you know why?
Why?
Bartending is viewed so much as a part-time job.
Yeah.
And I've seen careers being built out of it.
Okay.
I know people that don't live in South Africa that are bartenders. I know people that work in cruise ships that are bartenders. I know people that have made like full-on careers. There's the aspect of teaching within bartenders. There's an aspect of being a connoisseur, of understanding what alcohol is, and going around the world and teaching people what alcohol is. There's a lot of careers within bartenders, but between bartending, that people can explore. So I really want to open people's minds when it comes to that. People need to appreciate the fact that what a bartender really is. Yeah. And the importance of having bartenders, especially in the hospitality industry in South Africa. People need to make sure good bartenders are taken care of. Bartenders and waiters. Those two people, bartenders and waiters. Yeah, it's a job that's been taken. Like, be kind to those people. Those people are actually going through a lot. Those people are underpaid. Those people work long hours. The longest hours I've worked is 18 hours. I've worked like an 18-hour shift consistently. There was a time my dad was like, "Awu emsebenzini namhlanje."
Yeah, you're burning out.
Yeah, like umzimba umuntu awuphathi ngale ndlela uphatha ngayo.
Manje kena lento ayike yakhulunywa uTrevor no ukuthi ninabo special order.
Papa special order, elaborate.
like as you're saying, ukuthi be kind to someone. Do you think does it exist lenda bayama special order? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Ngifike you serving me, right? Ngifike ngihlale phansi ngibe rude. Maso yangalothi it's a special one. Le ukuthiwa kuthathe ufake kuma feet, but do you think it exists?
Yeah, I don't want to lie, it does exist. I don't want to lie, it does exist. It does exist. Be kind to those people gave up.
So you be kind wako usuka lapho.
No, not really. More be kind moves from other things, but that does happen. It does happen. I don't want to lie, it does happen. You really need, like, yes, Mabati, I was near this last week. Don't do that mistake.
Guys, nizwile that guys. For sure dala nje bangiqedile.
Akaboni.
Yeah, and lihlanganisa ne-mayonnaise or mayo sauce or whatever that it is, and ngeke uyibone. So nizwile ne guys. So do you believe in love?
I do believe in love.
In general or just
in general? Like both. You're asking when you say in general,
because yes, why ngisho ngikubuza kanje. For the longest time, I'm looking blame when my relationships they're not working out. No, it's because I've been looking for my father's love in other men's faces. Until someone said to me, "You are so wrong," because love is a universal thing.
It is. Love is every day. Love is every day. If love didn't exist, I wouldn't be here. Because love is relationship.
Yes.
Like relationships are not just between girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yeah.
Relationships is friends.
Love.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love is every. Love is saying thank you to the next person. It's saying please.
Yes.
That all rounds up to love. I do believe in love. And I also do believe in love because, as I've said, I grew up in a family that really had love. I was shown love. My dad, both my parents, well, my mom is different. My mom will tell me, but my dad would never really say but you would see. You would know. You would see what love is. Yeah. So I grew up in an environment where there really was love.
So you believe that one day you're gonna get married as well? And
I'd love to. I'd really love to. I'd really love to have what my parents had. It might not be the same exact thing, I know, but I'd really love to have what my family had. That whole family structure, having people that depend on you and being able to, provide, that whole thing is beautiful.
Without complaining.
That thing is beautiful. Even if you complain about whose fault is it that you have kids?
I heard earlier you said you hate the term of black text.
Yeah.
And you believe that as abantwana, ebazalini bethu will be forever
indebted to our parents.
I wanted to beg to differ at that time.
Okay.
But I said, no, this one, ngifuna ukumbuza C2, you know. A reason that I say that there's no one who's forever indebted to anyone, it's because mina ngenze example ngenyoni.
Okay.
Inyoni iye ibe namaqanda wayo, iwafukamele, iwenzele nest and all that. Iqanda usele ibe ngamatswele, right?
Yeah.
But at some point iyawakhipha nest.
Detachment,
iyawakhipha ke nest ukuthi hambe izindizele noma ilonyoni ngadecide ukundiziyephi.
Yeah.
So for me, I believe in that any day.
Okay.
A reason for that is we've seen that other families, they delay progress yomuntu.
Yeah, they do.
As much as, yes, you know when personally that you have to take care of your loved ones and all that, but it shouldn't be an entitlement. It shouldn't be an entitlement thing. It shouldn't be even called that you are indebted to them.
Well, maybe I used indebted for lack of a better word. Indebted might sound a bit too
yes.
But yeah,
you believe that we have to do it because we have to do it, but not because it's a must.
Is it not really?
It's not.
If wait, let's say, let me put a scenario on the table, ne? Your parents and then your parents lose everything. They can now feed themselves.
You will do it because of it's the right thing to do, but it's not a must. You can choose to walk away because now.
Yeah, I get that you can choose to walk away, but what's the rightful thing to do?
Is to take care of them.
Exactly, that's
but
what I meant.
It's not a must.
I know it's not a must. I know it's a choice thing, right?
It's a choice because
it's a choice thing.
Mina nginomntana wenza metric.
Yeah.
Alikila ngifuna ukuthi umntana wami bena ngakuthwala 9 months ngisokola ngisesikolweni nini
I
understand.
My mom usually
there are families where now it's a must ukuthi even if they have other means ukuzenzela izinto.
Yeah, but that's a bit and that's
and then that is why now we end up having abantu ababa mental breakdown. We thola abantu umuntu sekagcina ezibulala ngoba uyafeel ukuthi this is too much and they asking for more.
There's people that are unfair with the whole thing. You know, there's things that ideally on paper they are beautiful, but because people always find loopholes to it, and then they start being, because I feel like the reason it was just then called black text, it was because of those sort of people. Some people have entitlement issues, which and you have millions. Yeah, but what are you like? You have the ability to reach where I am.
I love what you're saying because of a fisherman shouldn't always feed you
how to fish,
because
you have if not maybe better, you still have the abilities to fend. I can do it because I want to. Jay-Z was saying the last time in an interview that he doesn't give money to his family
exactly
because if I have a family of like 16 people and each one of them keep asking me for 2,000 rand, all of the money that I'm making now goes to them, and I'm not having now. Like that's not fair on me.
But you do understand that.
Yeah, I do understand.
And now they will keep on taking and sucking, and they wouldn't, as long as payers go to you, keep on bringing.
That's why they say know when to stop, because takers don't know when to stop.
And the moment they won't see any.
You are making those people dependent on you.
And we understand. And it's another part of it now. We are limas.
Yeah, I've kind of also suffered from that because out of, when there's a group of friends, and that one person makes it becomes a thing of
when I find a sponsor.
Yeah, it becomes that, and then you might do it because of survivor's guilt. But in the long run, you are making those people so dependent on you that they might slack in what they need to do. Because now they know, like because there really is a thing of survivor's guilt. If you make it out of an environment that's not really conducive, people have the entitlement of saying, because you are one of us, you need to take care of us.
Loyalty.
Now there's an entitlement. You go to when usebenza no sky vodka kanjani unganamali ukungenzela into kanje.
As if unazidingo. Yeah, I hear you, but I'm glad that CS akhuluma, because I was like, and sometimes for me I always sound ngathi very insensitive with this, because mina abazali bashona ngimncane.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
And having siblings, it's not like nami I didn't learn from it with how hard it is that you have to always take care of other people. Even you understand.
Yeah.
But other people are like, you don't understand.
Yeah. I feel like people must, let's fund nobuntu. We must be fair with one another.
Yes.
Like we really need to move away from the entitlement. People have a lot of entitlement issues that they need to work with. Because for me, there's no such I really meant when there's no really such a thing as black tax. I don't really believe in it. Now, when I said indebted, I meant like it's the rightful thing to do.
And then now, gonna something very sensitive that I want us to embark in. And please, if you don't, if really you feel that it's too heavy,
Okay.
I will respect that.
Okay. Love the disclaimer.
See, we experiencing a loss youth kakhulu ekasi.
Yeah.
And you've lost someone who was close to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
How was it? Besides, how was it for you to go through that, knowing ukuthi yenziwe ubani and all that, and at the end of the day, you had to move on?
Oh. The thing is, I like the fact that you said sensitive. It is super sensitive, because that thing, like, it broke down a whole lot of relationships that I built for myself. Because when that thing happened, it split a lot of things across, right? It's not easy. I don't want to lie. It wasn't easy because we knew that person very, very, very personally. We knew the responsibilities that one person had towards his family and whatnot, right? So when that happened, it's like it created a point of hatred for me. And I don't really like using the word hate because it's such a big word. But it created a lot of hatred for me towards that one person. But over the time, now seeing that justice is actually playing its role, it's getting a bit easier and easier and easier. But that was very difficult. I don't want to lie. It's a very difficult thing to go through. Yeah.
And then now, like my reminder on Facebook, see this happened, and it takes you back. But where are you now? When it comes to that, where are you?
I'm at a point where I want to see all the legalities play out, and we get the justice that we deserve. The family of the friend of that person.
But now ukhumbula ukuthi njengokusho ukuthi yena yes akekho, but abantu bakhe basasengaphandle.
Yeah, that's another that like we can. Actually, we really have no control over that.
Does it make you that you have to always look over your shoulder all the time?
Not really, not in the sense, but yeah, you do have to, because you don't know what might happen. Because there was the way talks of, I don't know if I can really speak on this, but there were talks of us being in danger.
Yeah.
So it does create a sense of, like, when you hear something now, you need to, you always need to keep checking over your shoulder. It wasn't a nice, but I think I've outlived, like, I'm moving on from it.
Okay.
Not that I've outlived it, but I'm moving on from it. But it's just not fair, man. It's just not fair. It's difficult. It's a difficult thing to maneuver around.
It can make this whole situation where people, they just eliminating people mugging people, and we know who are these people who are doing these things. What is it that you think, which majors do you think as Tingabantu Basekasi siyazi this is a not normal thing? Because other things we tend to find them as a norm, things of losing lives and all that, and there's nothing that happens. What is it that ucabanga ukuthi ingenza kube ngcono?
That's a difficult question. You know why? Because there's not really much power we have as a community if we don't have the backing of the police when it comes to such things.
Yeah.
And because in as much as I'd like to advise people and say to people, go the legal route, like with us, we just might get, the sentencing and whatnot, because we were so strong in the fact that, we saw what happened.
Yeah.
This was wrong, and we will stand for our friend. We need a bit more of that. Because even with what happened with Cocktail Sunday, I went fine within people just to get people to say, no, we saw that was wrong. Like let's get whatever that's happening justice.
Yes.
You know, I went through that whole thing. There was a whole court case around it. There was cops involved.
It's tiring,
it's definitely, you know, hosting events is not easy.
And other people, the moment you host the event,
yeah, and you know what, you know, there's all those factors,
hijacking and all that.
there's all those factors that you need as an event organizer, you need to make sure you are trying to cover, because you're not going to cover the whole of it. That's the bitter truth. You're not going to cover the whole of it, but at least work towards covering it. So in as much as I might say that, but if we are not getting, like, we're lucky enough to get the right kind of police behind that case, you know. But in some cases, we can't shy away from the fact that most of these people that do these things have cops in their pocket. You know, so you coming out to say, yes, the person you're speaking to might just give the phone call to that person, and now your life is in danger. You know, so there's not much. We really need to stand for it. Like, we really need to fight. We really need to fight that, but we really need a lot of backing from the system, the governments, the SAPS, all of those things. We really need the right people.
It starts from hierarchy.
It's the hierarchy that needs to be fixed. Until that is fixed, I don't think there's a lot we can do. Because ekasi like reporting like the dumbest of things.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how how that might end for you.
Yeah.
Because when it might be something that you're doing right, like I'm being a noble citizen.
I hear you. What is it one thing that you would wish to change young Ayanda? That you take accountability, go say, yeah, Ayanda that you wish you could change. Maybe it could have made you a better version of who you are now.
I don't think there's something I'd like to change. I don't know. I feel like Ayanda was given, if there's one thing I'd love to change was me, but also I can't say I'd love to change that, because if I was to go back, I think I'd go back. I'd go back to doing the same thing. In school, when I was still in school, I chose sports over school.
Okay.
So I took more.
Sports,
I gave more attention to
academics.
I gave more to than I did to academic. And I'm a pretty smart kid, actually. I'm a very pretty smart person. But I gave sports that thing, and then I'm lucky enough that I realized when I was young that no, actually this might need a backup plan, and I started working on the backup plans. Okay. Yeah, and that's where I am now. The backup plans are working. So in as much as that was a mistake, I worked to rectify it. But yeah, if there was one thing,
how did the family took it that because of some kids? Bartending.
Yo, my dad.
Bartending. Ufuna ube udoctor ube lawyer wena or ini. Sikufundisa kanje esikolweni esiright uzositshela ukuthi ufuna ube bartender.
And you have to understand that I come from a family with both my mom and dad don't drink.
Yo.
Both my mom and dad don't drink. Umkhulu wami was a bishop from my mother's side. Bishop ngengafuna utshwala lapha mbikhona. I was supposed to start bartending I think 2 years earlier than I did.
Okay.
Like, it's always been something that has been chasing me now that I look into it. Because I was supposed to start bartending I think 2 years before I did. And when I told my dad was like, you are not doing that.
Yeah.
That's one thing you are not doing. You're not doing. I'm not having a child who's also go do other things. Go play soccer if you want to go play soccer. Go try other things. Just not that. And then, like, it went, and then I was in varsity. I was in college. Yeah. And I was like, I'm an independent person so much that okay. So when the job came, I was like, this is something that's going to alleviate the pressure from home. And whatnot. I am not telling my dad. Then I started working, and then I started making. Then my dad started seeing, okay, he just wants to fend for himself. And then, like, abazali bakholwa with practicality.
Of course.
Yeah, when they started seeing, okay, he can upkeep himself with the thing. Okay, sharp. And then I was lucky enough to be a event coordinator at some venue, SNT. And then when I started doing that, there was now a salary that was coming from this thing. A stable. So my dad started reshaping. Okay, actually, maybe this might be a thing for him. You know. And then there came a chat where I wanted to leave the corporate side of it and start my own events and all those things. Now it went back to the fact that now there's no security again. Yeah, now there's no security. Yeah.
He gave you a leeway.
Yeah, now there's no security again.
Back,
yeah, it's like, so it was tough. I don't want to lie. It was tough, especially my dad. My mom is very supportive to the things we want to do, but my dad was very strict. My dad was a very strict person.
How was your relationship? Ningabafana nikhula nithulwa and all that, and how's your relationship with your brother now?
It's always been the gap between me and my brother is 3 years. That's a very small gap.
Yeah.
That's a very small gap. So it comes with its fights. It's siblings. There's siblings. I wouldn't say siblings rivalry. We don't really have siblings rivalry. We're very supportive towards each other. I love my brother. I know he loves me too. I know he'd have my back in anything that happens. Yeah, I know. My brother is one phone call away. If anything happens, my brother is one phone call away. And everything uzofika for sure. And I try to be that for him. In as much as like there'll be those clashes. There'll always be those clashes. But yeah, we have like, it's a stable relationship. It's a beautiful relationship.
So what is it that you would want to share that I didn't ask you about?
What didn't we cover? I feel like we covered most of it. But if there's one thing I want to share is, I feel like people, especially ekasi, people like us make it so difficult for the people that are working to revive ekasi. They become so difficult to those because a lot of things that happen ekasi, it's a thing of I just want to be like next. Like a lot of people have that mentality, but they bash so much the people that want to do things. And at the same time, you are sitting at your comfort place. You are saying Agna next is the people that you are not doing anything. Number two. Yeah. Now the person that wants to stand up and make something off of his own you are the first to bash that person. Exactly. You are the first to bash that person again until that person proves. Because I've had to prove which this is a brand that is going to work. I've had to work so hard. Yeah, actually,
it's possible.
Actually, I don't know. It was even a thing of you don't want to miss out.
Didn't you work with Corona as well?
I did. There was a time I worked with Corona, but that wasn't with the event. That was the bartending side. That was the bartending side. Okay. And then people start being. It's a thing of you now. You don't want to miss out. So now you are forced to be a part of this whole thing.
And then others, they would just come, not that they want to be there, but
you see? Yeah. So I feel like ekasi, we need to, like, we've seen a lot of what we call has-beens because of like aguna, like there's not, like, it's not solid, it's not a rock solid support. There's support, but it's not rock solid to a point of uguti you'd support this person like to go wherever. Like, even if I am going to host an event, like I say, maybe let's say I'm going to host another event, let's say not Cocktail Sunday, but even if Cocktail Sunday leaves maybe Sonneville and is now going to be hosted at Coronation, in as much as Cocktail Sunday is such a charitable thing, a cast that we hold so dearly but you need to be able to allow it to grow so that it reaches whatever it needs to reach. Because if you now want to block it in and systematically like block it in with lane to us millions again like us, why you need to understand it won't grow to the point where it does need to
and
grow.
The moment you shift it and introducing it to other places, we're not going there.
That really happens. They're like, it's fine. Sign up. But if you allow that place, I'm going to use Cocktail Sunday as an example. Say it grows and then now it's hosted a Coronation. Why? It gives another sense of I can easily take the people from ekasi and expose them to a wider market.
Yes.
Because if Cocktail Sunday is that big, I can take the DJs from ekasi. I can take the people that are selling food from ekasi. I can take all of those people and say, let's go showcase there. We've got like a different now space, a platform to showcase what Sonneville can really offer. You know, so if we support like that, I feel like we will all grow. I feel like we will all grow.
I love that. And then that's in our social platforms work.
I'm on social platforms. I'm just Master Bev. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I don't really like these other. I'm not a big social person also.
Okay.
So for Cocktail Sunday, it's under Liquid Art. So it's Liquid Art on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you just want to see the things we've done so far, the videos are on YouTube. They're on TikTok.
The other time, he posted a Cocktail Sunday. I was like, yes, that's from Ekasi.
We are moving.
It was a beautiful feeling. And then let's say
A creative that loved making spaces for people to have fun.
Please say that again.
A creative that loved creating spaces for people to have fun. That's what I want to be remembered for.
So.
And I do.
I appreciate this moment, man. I'm rooting. I'm rooting, guys. I'm rooting for better days. And obviously, other people baye bafune ukubona fruitful, but they don't know where we started.
Yeah.
I feel discouraged all the time, even myself, because I've started. Because banalento ukuthi angizohlala emayikhini kushaya ngama 10,000 subscribers, 10,000 views. It's not easy, But having people like you guys who mangibacela to help me with this, you're not expecting anything in return. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because abanye abantu like I don't have time, man. So if ngiyazonginika malini, you never spoken about those things. I appreciate the support yenu kakhulu, and nami I'm open to anything. And once again, I appreciate for that invitation, and I'm gonna really look through it and I'll participate. I promise.
I most definitely. This is now home. This
is home. Yes.
Yeah. This is now another platform for marketing for Cocktail Sunday.
Please.
You see, when I say it goes back to what love and relationships is.
Yes. Because I always say that if should anyone promote something, or maybe platform, but I believe in myself. I believe in us. I believe Kaslam. I believe we're gonna go somewhere,
Yeah, we definitely will. Like Sonneville has so much potential. Like a lot of people would be amazed. I believe in Sonneville so much.
I heard Sandy, they said, "Hey,
yeah, I advocate for ekasi so much, even towards my friends, because my friends, like I have a lot of people that say, "Don't keep living ekasi." Like yet limits, and I'm like, nah. It'll work how I want it to work. Like I feel like ekasi is so much potential. It has so much potential, so much talent also. So that's why I really believe in that place.
Thank you so much, man. Guys, subscribe. Please go through.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, and it's Liquid Art.
Yeah, at Liquid Art.
At Liquid Art, and then Master Bev, Facebook and Instagram. You're still open to ask questions, guys, or if you want to add anything that maybe Sangai Kavi, he's here, he's open to answer all of that, and I'm here as well. Mongega Kulu. See you another time. Be kind to one another. Siyabonga, and we out.